What is up, guys? Meg here in the video, and today is another diorama dissection. And today is one that I have been wanting to do for a long time, but I just got the time to do it, I guess. So yeah, let's get into it. This is the Banished Phantom alternate build. I don't think it even really has a name, but I'm a very big fan of it. So let's get started really quick, and let's just go through the diorama that I made. It's super small, so there's not much to it. The Marines, they have a Warthog with rocket launchers, and they're basically trying to take out this banished vehicle. That's what it is. Banished vehicle that looks like a bug. So yeah, it's as you can tell, it looks great, and I'm about to talk about it a little more, so let's get started. So let's get right into it. From now on, I have decided that instead of calling this the Banished Phantom alternate build, that is just a terrible name. I'm going to be calling it the Forbidden Ladybug. So, yeah. First off, let's give a little bit of a scale comparison, because that was something that I really couldn't tell until I got my hands on it. But right here is a Marine, right there. As you can tell, it's about as tall as the legs, and you're able to go from there, and you can tell it's pretty, he kind of dwarfs the Marine. So that's really great, actually. I like things that, you know, make the Marines look small and make it look like, oh, this is not going to be an easy victory for them, and they're going to have to work together to stop it. So yeah, it looks really big, and also, again, pretty much everyone has a Marine, so I'm just going to use it kind of for scale, and right there is across the body. As you can tell, it's like a little bit, probably takes 2, 3, 4, 5 Marines long. You know, the very exact measurement that everyone uses. I think the United States is going to go from that before we use meters. So there's that. And then just kind of going around, let's give a little review of the, not a review, but a look at all the sides. So as you can see right there, it turns like that. And it looks good from all angles, honestly. Like, let's see behind. I think behind might be the only angle where it still doesn't even look really bad. It just looks kind of basic. I mean, there's not much building. If you wanted to, you could do some custom work right here and add some, you know, lights to it or something like that, and it would look probably a little bit better. But I have a confession to make. I actually made a small change to this. Normally, when you have this set, the head does not move at all. The head is stuck in this position that it's in right there. Just straight ahead, perfectly even. And it's kind of a weird build. It was not cutting it for me, so I made some modifications. And now I have got it to rotate. I don't have it rotating all the way around, or else that'll break it. But it rotates like this. And I just did that by putting like some circular pieces I had that turned. And that actually adds a lot to it, because I mean, now instead of, you know, if it's looking at the Marine, it has to be straightforward. It can now do it like, you can kind of, it's a little bit more menacing, like it's actually turned its focus towards the Marine right there. And it's just a little bit more intimidating. And then there's the eyes. Actually, no, that's the eyes, but something like that. And I also put some other things on it. I put this under it, some little stabilizers, just some clear pieces that I had. It can hold its own weight, but I wondered, you know, what is the sustainability of that? How long will it hold? And, you know, I just wanted to kind of add to the longevity of this set. So yeah, there are some other things, and this is going to be over soon as far as just like talking about the build of this. You see how crazy that thing is? Yeah, that is, okay, that's so scary. Okay, so look, there's an interior. I don't want this to break. So there's an interior right there, and there's 2 control panel parts, and you could have a brute seated in there. I don't usually do that just because you can't even tell. So if you want to, you definitely can, but I'm not going to recommend it to anyone necessarily. And then you can also open this back part up and put the weapon away, which, again, I don't know why you would do that, and honestly, I still not. Yeah, that's one of the problems with this build, is the stability and just pieces breaking off. It's kind of a complex thing to build, but yeah, I'm gonna fix that really quick. So I put it all back together, and I've got to say I'm going to have to dock some points from it, because, yeah, that is one of the problems of this build. And, you know, I do want to give Mega some leeway, because it is an alternate build, so the set isn't designed to be this. Like, they don't go in trying to build this vehicle and then have mistakes. They had to come up with this from, like, their own heads just using the parts they had. So giving them some leeway, I've got to say that you have to be very careful with the set, like, because it will come apart if you're not careful. But yeah, it still looks amazing. And just really quick, I do want to put a comparison with the other vehicle. And this kind of is where I want to talk about the diorama ability. Look how big it is compared to a Warthog. It's massive. So that's its biggest strength. In dioramas, it looks the part. It looks like it should be there. It looks like it's the centerpiece of a diorama, which I love because, you know, there's only a few Banished vehicles that can play as centerpieces since we don't have a Wraith yet. So this is a great one. Hopefully one day we get Scarab too. But anyway, this makes an amazing piece for that. But I will say some of its limitations are pretty strong. For instance, the normal version, and I do want to focus on the normal one that's not modded, can only look forward. So that's kind of got to take away some points, because instead of being able to build or put this into your diorama, you have to build your diorama in a way that, like, it's able to look directly at whatever you need it to look at, instead of being able to turn it a little bit, even though that's still somewhat limited. Also, it doesn't have the ability to, like let's say a Warthog can be turned like this, or you can have it upside down. There's a lot of ability to move it and change it. With this, with the original version, it's literally just this. You're not moving this thing upside down. Even the Phantom, if you finagled it a little bit, you probably could get it upside down somehow. But yeah, it's limited. But it does have a lot of strong points. The size, the intimidation factor, and just the look. It looks good, especially for an alternate build. So, with that all said, what you should be doing with this is having it as a centerpiece. Of course, carefully build around it, and don't build the diorama and then just stick this in it. Build something around this diorama, have brutes fighting it, have it chasing something, Marines running away, maybe even have like a Spartan climbing it or something. Oh, that Spartan fell on the ground. Or like ODST, he's taking a nap, it looks like. But yeah, ODST's trying to climb it. Maybe they have ropes or something. And brutes protecting it. Like, make this the strongest thing in your diorama, and it will be awesome. But yeah, I think that that's kind of how I'm going to have to leave it. I think that it's a really good set. And in total, taking everything into account, there are some drawbacks that are pretty intense. Particularly the limited movability of it, just because it is so fragile. Again, with the point that it is an alternate build. I think I'm going to have to give it a 7.5 out of 10. It's very good in a lot of ways, but it's also just missing a few things. But for an alternate build, that's amazing. So good job, Mega. And it looks great. When you do have it as the focus, it looks great. So yeah, I appreciate you guys so much for watching, and I really hope you guys have an amazing day. And I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.